Okay, welcome everyone. Fair warning at the very beginning, my training is in physics and medical physics and not computer science. So if I say something wrong, I apologize, but I'm doing my best. So if you've read the LinkedIn post, the prompt that we're going to be working under is we want to take a DICOM file, so say some QC images from a gamma camera, and convert those into an Excel file. So first things first, like all Python programs, we're going to start by doing our importing some libraries and some other useful stuff. So since we're going to be taking things from the system, like file paths, and saving things to the system, we want to import the system. Next, we want to import the workhorse of this program, which is Pydicom. This will allow us to open the DICOM file, as well as reading it and doing interesting stuff with it. Pydicom has NumPy built in, so things like handling of arrays and doing other kinds of complicated arithmetic you can do in Pydicom without importing NumPy. Now, in the past, I've also wrote programs using NumPy because I've wanted to do other things and I was more familiar with that syntax than Pydicom. But in theory, you can use Pydicom for everything since it does have NumPy in it. And the last thing we want to import is irpin pyxl. This will let us save our DICOM information into an Excel sheet. So first things first, let's actually get some paths to where our DICOM file is. So I've conveniently have it here. So just get the info and then just copy and paste. And then that was called background noise. I was not capitalized. Then DCM is just, of course, the file extension for DICOM files. And just for convenience, let's also get our Excel pathway up. So I created this folder called test. Very original naming, I know. And then let's copy that. So we will save it to documents. Oh, it didn't save to the file, or it didn't give me the folder, but the folder is test. And then we want to call it example. So let's just call it example. XLSX. I'm dyslexic, so I have to think really hard about these namings sometimes. So this is actually going to be a really simple program since we're not having to kind of go and get the file. We're telling the script where the file is and what to save it as. So let's create our function. So let's give it a good name. DICOM2 Excel, and then it'll be our DICOM path and our Excel path. So the first thing we want to do is actually open the DICOM file, and then save it. So we're gonna. So it's gonna be, once it opens and reads it, it's gonna save it to this DS thing, and this is just going to be. It's going to contain everything in the DICOM. So the pixel values, the metadata, everything that is read from Pydicom is going to be stored in DS. So let's call Pydicom. And then we want to read the Excel file, or I mean the DICOM file from the DICOM path. In the past, when I've worked with these files, for whatever reason, sometimes the Pydicom doesn't want to read it because there's like some sort of mismatch somewhere, or there's like a slight tweak in the DICOM. So this force equals true just kind of forces it to read the file whether it wants to or not. You probably don't need it, but you get annoyed a couple of times and you put it in every time. So the next thing we want to do is actually extract the pixel data from the DS. So we'll just call it pixel array is equal to the pixel array of the DICOM. Now next we want to kind of figure out the dimensions. We know that so the file that we're going to be working on is a 2D. It's just a single frame. It has X, Y, so rows and columns. So we can just say rows, columns equal pixel array shape. Now next we want to kind of create a workbook and a worksheet. So that's just kind of Excel stuff. That way we can, once we have the data, we can store it somewhere. So the way to do this is just workbook is equal to workbook. Then the parentheses, worksheet is equal to the workbook active. Okay, and then let's call this sheet DICOM pixel data. Very original, I know. So what we've done so far is we've read the DICOM, the DICOM file, and then we've kind of Jesus. And then we've pulled out the pixel values, and then are kind of creating a new workbook. Creates Excel workbook. Creates sheet in Excel. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to take the pixel data that we have and then put it into the workbook. So this is actually pretty simple. So I actually want to be on the same line here. So we just say for row IDX in range the rows, and for column IDX in range columns. We want to take the pixel data, so pixel value. We want to convert these to float numbers, just that way we won't have any problems in Excel once we open them. So we take our, so there are pixel values we're going to have, or we're going to take the pixel arrays. Pixel array row IDX column IDX row IDX column IDX, yes. And then now we want to, so we've taken them. Now we want to paste them in the cells. So Python, so this is a weird computer sciencey thing. Python counts from 0, so it counts 0, 1, 2, 3. Excel counts 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to basically take all of our value, or kind of where our rows and columns are, and just increment it by 1. So we can do that here. So we take the cells in the worksheet. So the row is going to be equal to the row IDX, and then we're just going to be adding 1, and then we're going to be doing the exact same thing for the columns. Plus 1, and then of course the values that we're putting in here are the pixel values. Pixel value. Okay, so now we have taken everything and put them, so, okay, take the array and put them into rows and columns, incrementing by 1 for Excel counting. Okay, so we've created our workbook, we've created our sheet, we've now pasted our values in our pixel values into the cells. So now the only thing that's left to do is to save it. So let's see, indenting, yes, it'll be here. So we want to save our workbook into our Excel path. Cool. Now we want to just call the function. And hopefully that works. We will see. So let's save this as Pydicom example. Okay, so we've saved it. So now let's see if it works. So hopefully we will run it and it'll go. So let's go. Let's open it with Python. It says saved. So now let's go in our test. There's something saved, so that's a good sign. Now let's open it up. Okay, so we see a bunch of ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros, and then some numbers. So if you're used to looking at medical imaging, it's not going to be in ones and zeros. There's going to be some sort of kind of color to it, typically gray, but so let's just add in some color. So let's do red. Okay, so it looks like it worked. Huzzah. So as you can see, this was just a background acquisition, and it looks like a background acquisition. So yeah, if you watched this, I hope you learned something, and I hope that you can start using Pydicom to do interesting stuff. Thank you.